Welcome to Galaxy Advisors. The purpose of this video is to explain how to run Condor on Amazon Web Services, and it's part 4 of 4. Already you've completed, or should have completed, the first 3 parts for the 4-part piece. Again, you've signed up for an Amazon account, you've logged into the Amazon Web Services console and set up a server and launched a new instance. If you're a Mac user, you set up remote desktop connection, or if you're a PC user, you've done the same. And finally, we're here at step 4 of 4, the last lap, to set up Condor by installing all the required software: the Java, Java 3D, MySQL, server, Navicat, which is optional, and Condor itself. Then, which leaves us to finally, after the step 4 is done, you'll be able to run Condor on Amazon Web Services with remote control from your Mac or your PC. So again, at this point, connect to the Amazon Web Services either via your Mac with the remote desktop connection or your PC with the same remote desktop connection. So at this point, you should be connected to your server. Should look something similar to this. And now what I'm going to recommend, a few recommendations, is you're going to start Internet Explorer 9, but do not accept the security settings, because the default security settings makes it difficult to download files. Instead, I recommend you download Safari for Windows to use as your default browser. So with those 2 recommendations, you're going to click the Start button and then Internet Explorer. When it starts for the first time, you're going to select Don't Use Recommended Settings and then click OK. And then you're going to use this URL, support.apple.com/kb/dl1531 to download Safari for Windows, which the current version is 5.1.7. And then what I'd like you to do after that is download Condor, the Install.zip file. And the zip file contains the 3 files, Java, Java 3D, and MySQL, at this link, docs.google.com, and so on. I've included this link under the YouTube video description. If you just say Show More, you'll see all the links that are embedded in this video. Much easier than trying to place on pause and type this very long, complicated string. But once you do, you'll see these 3 files, and then you'll be able to click Download. And again, a special thanks to Philip Steger at MIT for this zip file setup, which makes it very easy to install. Now, click the download anyway here to avoid a virus scan. Click Save at do you want to open or save this file? And then once you've saved it, the Install.zip is saved in your Downloads folder. And what you want to do is extract those files. So make sure you extract those files, and you'll notice the little icons next to the files after they're extracted. Now the next 2 steps are quite simple. They are to install Java 7 and Java 3D, and you do this by double-clicking on each one and following the prompts. Once you do, like for example for Java 3D, it's going to ask you to run it. It's going to ask you to accept the license agreement. It's going to ask you to install it, and then at the very end you're going to get some sort of complete or successful. Same thing, you might want to put this video on pause at this point and install then the Java 7 update 9, and again just double click on it, follow the prompts. They're quite straightforward: run, accept license agreement, and then it'll be successful. Now I'm going to go through installing MySQL, which is more complicated, and I'm going to run through each of the install steps one window at a time so that you'll be successful on your first time through. So begin by double-clicking the MySQL setup file and make the following selections on the next slides. At the very first window, we'd like you just to click Run. And then at the next window, it's going to say Welcome to MySQL Server 5.5. At the very bottom, click Next. Then check the box I accept the terms, and then click on Next. Then at the next window, choose the setup type as typical and click Next. Then at the next window, click simply Install. At the following window, you'll see several files being installed. What you want to do is click Next. Then at the MySQL Enterprise Monitor service, you want to just click Next. And then you're going to see a window that's going to ask you to launch MySQL. So that should be checked, and then click Finished. And then what we're going to go through is a more complicated piece of setting the parameters for MySQL instance configuration. So at the next window, the configuration window will start, and what I want you to do is click Next. And at the next window, you're going to bullet detailed configuration, which is the default. Click Next. And then the developer machine, which is the default. Click Next. Then click Multifunctional Database. Click Next. Then at this point, I'm asking you about the drive, installation path, and so on. Just simply click Next, accept all the defaults. Next, click Decision Support and click Next. Then following, there will be a number of other defaults such as Enable TCP, port number 3306, Enable Strict Mode. All those are preset, and just click Next. And then finally, and this is a very important step, want to click the manual selected default character set and select the default of Latin 1, and again an important one, and click Next. Next, what I want you to do is at the install window is click Install as a Windows service. The service name is default is MySQL. Launch the MySQL server automatically, and then click Include bin directory in Windows path. So just make sure your window is the identical as this, and then click Next. And finally, what I want you to do is uncheck Modified Security Settings. I find that the most common piece of running MySQL, people forget their password. So if you don't want to bother with a password because you sign into your computer with a password anyway, just uncheck Modify Security Settings. And or if you prefer to have a password, leave it checked, and then you're going to have to enter a password and then retype it in. The important thing is to remember this password if you choose to select one, because you'll need to enter this root password every time you start Condor. So after this, click Next. And then finally, the instant wizard is set up to execute, and at the very bottom, click Execute. It'll take a minute or so to go through to prepare the configuration, write the configuration file, and start the service, and it'll give you a message that the service started successfully. And at the very end, click Finished. And at this last step, the MySQL has been successfully installed. Congratulations. Now, just to check that MySQL is running, go to your Windows Start, click Start, and then Programs. And then when the menu opens, I want you to scroll down to, or scroll up to MySQL, and then you'll see the MySQL command line client. You might have a plus next to that. You might have to check that to see the link there. Once you click that, a DOS window will open, and if you did not create a MySQL password, just simply press Enter or Return, and then the MySQL prompt will come up. And at the very end, at the MySQL prompt, please type in a backslash and the letter S. So \S as indicated in the lower left here. And that's going to show you the MySQL status. You should see then a window such as this. And what you want to check to make sure Latin 1 is set as the default character set, which is indicated here. Next is to download and install Navicat, which is optional. Navicat is a graphical user interface for the MySQL server, which makes it really easy to see the MySQL tables. It's a free 30-day trial, and it's available at this link. Again, this link is located as well in the Show Me description beneath the YouTube video. Next is to download and unzip Condor. Condor is located at this ickn.org documents/condor-latest.zip, which again, this URL is located in the show more description underneath the video. The main thing after you've downloaded it is make sure you right click on the zip file and extract all the files. A common error is to try to run Condor within the zip file. You can't do it, or at least it's going to give you an error. So make sure you extract all the files. Once the files are extracted, the Condor folder and files will look like this. And then once you start Condor by double-clicking on the Condor bat file or the Condor jar file, you're going to enter in the monthly key. If you don't have a Condor monthly key, please email Peter Gloor at pgloor@mit.edu for a monthly key. And once you get that, paste it into the key. This is required the first day of the month, and every month there's a new key. Host remains local host, user remains root, and the password here is your MySQL password. If you did not create one, just leave it blank and click OK. If you did create a MySQL password, enter it here and then click OK. Then congratulations, Condor is running on the Amazon Web Services, and from here you can do all the functionality of Condor on your Amazon Web Service. So that's it. You completed the step 4 of 4, and you're ready to run Condor on the Amazon Web Services with remote control from your Mac or PC. Or if you're on a Mac and you're running Parallels or VMware, you can run it remotely from that application as well. So for more tutorials on Condor, see the Condor video link. Again, Condor videos provide kind of an easy, painless way introduction to the complexities of Condor. Welcome to Condor, and again, I'd like to acknowledge and a special thanks to Philip Onstager at MIT for detailing the Amazon Web Services steps, which I could not have done alone. So again, thanks very much, Philip, for leading the path for us all. Again, welcome to Galaxy Advisors, and we'd like to welcome you to the great tool of Condor.